Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and my fellow dweebs, Smack the Monkey once again with another unboxing video. This time we have the new Dominaria United set boosters. This just recently dropped this week. I was able to get myself two set boosters. And yeah, let's get to cracking. Let's open the first one. I have two right now, and we'll open this first, and then we'll do another video for the second one, and let's see what we get. So I've actually not had any chance to review the spoilers. So I'm not very familiar with this particular set, so we'll take a look and try to learn about this together. So we have a box topper with this set. We'll open that at the last bit, and then we have, if I'm not mistaken, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 30 packs for this particular set. So Dominaria, for those who may not know, I started to play Magic way back in the mid-90s. And now knowing that all of the cards at that point was actually set in the Dominaria universe, so I'm quite excited to see cards from the set and hopefully some good reprints too. Okay, let's get cracking for the first one. Okay, here we go. Alright, so for our first pack, we have the art card. Okay, let's put that over there. Mountain, Phyrexian Razor, Phyrexian Vivisector. So just like the theme here might be Phyrexia. Essence Scatter, Gibbering Barricade, Founding the Third Path. Okay, for the uncommons. Mossbeard Ancient. Okay, it's a 5 green trample. When it enters the battlefield, gain 7/7 creature. Frost Fist Strider. Okay. Djinn of the Fountain. So it's 4 blue, and it's a 4/4 creature Djinn with flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one. It gets +1/+1 end of turn. You can exile the Djinn and return to the battlefield for recursion, or you can scry one. Okay, then we get a nice showcase art here for Baird Argivian Recruiter. So it's red and white, human soldier 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 white soldier token. Okay, and this is our first rare, which is the Leaf Crowned Visionary. So it's green, a 1/1 elf druid. Other elves you control get 1/1, and when you cast an elf spell, you may pay green and draw a card. So perfect for card draw. And then we have a foil, Gibbering Barricade. Let's put that over here. And our promo token. Okay, so we go on to the next pack. So far, nothing spicy. Just a couple of serviceable cards. Okay, here's the art card. Land. Right, here we go. So, Charismatic Vanguard. Then we have the Elf Aim Worm. Scout of the Wilderness. Shield Wall Sentinel. And then we have the Elvish Hydromancer for the uncommons. Vohar Vodalian Desecrator. So what I did hear about the set is that there's like 70 plus possible commanders. So I guess this is the first one that we're seeing here. So what is this? It's a mirror, blue and black, 1/2 legendary Phyrexian Merfolk Wizard. So that's quite a mouthful. So tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard an instant or sorcery card this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So you can also pay 2 and sacrifice Vohar. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. That spell would be put to the graveyard exile instead. Activate only as a sorcery. Interesting. Then we have Airtight Scorn. Counterspell. Nice. Then we have a Zar Ojanen, Scion of Efrafa. So it's a legendary creature cat warrior for 3 green and white. So it has domain. Whenever Zar Ojanen, Scion of Efrafa, becomes tapped, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. That's nice looking, like stained glass art. Right? And for our rare, we have Rosenacht, Heir of Roga. So it's for 1 red. It's a legendary creature kobold warrior with 0/1 power toughness. It has Battle Cry, which reads, whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And also, the other effect is heroic. When you cast a spell that targets Rosenacht, Heir of Roga, create a 0/1 kobold creature token named Kobolds of Kirk. Okay. And it's a double rare pack. We have a second rare called Temporal Firestorm for 3 red. So it's a sorcery, and it says choose up to X creatures and or planeswalkers you control, where X is the kick number of times the spell was kicked. Those permanents phase out, and Temporal Firestorm deals 5 damage to each creature and planeswalker. So you can kick it either with colorless and white or colorless and blue. So it's going for this tricolor theme there. And then we have a foil, Benelish Sleeper. And we have an Angel Foot. So moving on to the third pack. So nothing from the chase cards yet of this particular set. So hopefully we can get something good. Okay. So we go to the art card. Nice looking Minotaur over there. We have Foil Swamp. Okay, we have Captain's Call. Keldon Strike Team. Heroic Charge. And Smash to Dust. That's it for the commons. Now for the uncommons, we have Inscribed Tablet. And then we have a legendary creature here, Lagomos, Hand of Hatred. So it's for 1 black red, legendary human shaman. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Now you can tap Lagomos, search your library for a card, put it in your hand and shuffle. Activate only if 5 or more creatures died this turn. So it has a tutor effect, but you need to have some mass death before he's able to do that. Okay, then we have Cut Constrict for 1 black, a 2/1 skeleton warrior. And we have Aaron Benalia's Ruin. Okay, so it's a white, black legendary Phyrexian human with 3/3 power toughness with Menache. And pay white and black to tap it, sacrifice another creature, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. And then we have another Vohar Vidalian Desecrator. And for the rare, we have Silver Scrutiny. So it's X blue. You may cast Silver Scrutiny as though it had flash. If X is 3 or less, draw X cards. Wow, that's a pretty, I would say, pretty nimble card that you can use, especially when you're a little bit down. Yeah, might be helpful in endgame too. And we have a foil Coalition War Root. Okay, go from there. Okay, here we go for the next pack. We have a nice art card. And we have a full art land in this nice looking stained glass treatment. That over there. So we have Argivian Cavalier, Phyrexian Warhorse, the Mesa Cavalier, and Artillery Blast for the commons. And then we have the uncommons. We have Yosha Declares War, so it's one in red, which is an enchantment saga. And then, so the first step is you create a 0/2 Thopter. And then for the second chapter, tap any number untapped artifacts you control. When you do, Yosha Declares War, deals that much damage to the target creature or planeswalker. And the last one would be up to one target artifact you control becomes a creature with base power toughness 4/4 until end of turn. Next we have Combat Researcher. So it's a 1 blue enchantment aura, and enchanted creature has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to the player, draw a card. So as long as enchanted creature is legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward 1. So that's pretty good value for a 1-drop. And if I'm not mistaken, this is made by a Filipino artist. Pretty nice. And then next we have a Micromancer for 3 and blue. When Micromancer enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an instant or sorcery card with mana value 1, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay. And then we have Phyrexian Missionary. So it's a 1 and white, 2/3 Phyrexian Human Cleric with a kicker of 1 and black. It has lifelink. So when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then we get another Lagomos Hand of Hatred in the showcase art. And for the rare, we have Temporary Lockdown, which is 1 and white enchantment. So when this enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until Temporary Lockdown leaves the battlefield. So good for sort of taking down mana rocks and so forth. Okay, and we have a land, the Geothermal Bog. So it's a Swamp Mountain. It taps 4, black and red. Token here, Sand Warrior. Okay, moving on. So far, nothing spicy, but let's keep moving on. We're about halfway through the first third. Okay, we have a nice looking art card there. Land. Okay, then we get another Sunlit Marsh, Sacred Peaks. Okay, so we get 2 of those sort of dual lands. Then we have Maria's Outrider and Yavimaya Steel Crusher 2, and the commons. For the uncommons, we have Balduvian Atrocity. Okay. Cut Down. So what is this? It's for 1 black, destroy target creature with total power and toughness 5 or less. So that's interesting. Total power and toughness. Okay. And then we have, oops, skipped one there. Jodas Codex and Tatyoba Steward of Tides in the showcase art format. So for green, blue, legendary creature Merfolk Druid with 3/3. Land creatures you control have flying. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. So this is pretty great, you know, with the evasion here, and then you have the ability to convert the land into a creature. Okay, and for our rare, in nice borderless showcase art, we have the Raven Man, which is a legendary human wizard for 1 in black, power toughness 2/1. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 black bird creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. So you can pay 3 in black to tap and tap the Raven Man. Each opponent discards a card, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. And wow, okay, so we have our first mythic, and it's no one else but Liliana of the Veil. Look at that art, beautiful. So, for 1 and black, you have Liliana with 3, comes in with 3 loyalty counters. So +1, each player discards a card. -2, target player sacrifices a creature. And -6, separate all permanent target player controls the 2 piles that player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of their choice. That's very nice. So let's put that over the pool pile here. And we have a foil Monstrous Warlich. Okay. So far, we have our first mythic of Liliana of the Veil. So I think this is the most valuable card of the set so far. So I think we struck gold with that one. Now here's another art card. Okay, here we go. So we have Forest, Yashino Branch Rider, Vanquisher's Axe, a Goblin Picker, Colossal Growth. Okay, then we move on to the uncommons. We have Runic Shot. Okay. So this is pretty cool. Just for 1 white, with a kicker of 1 blue, destroy target tapped creature. If the spell was kicked, scry 2. So that's not bad. Then we have Urg, Spawn of Turg. Okay, for black, green. It's a legendary creature, frog beast, with power toughness star and 5. So Urg, Spawn of Turg's power is equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into the graveyard, and then you can pay black and green and sacrifice a land. You gain 2 life. Okay, let's put that over there. We have Pilfer. Wow, look at that art. Pretty funny looking art there. Kind of reminds me of Tim Burton, right? Nightmare Before Christmas. So, Pilfer is 1 in black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. And we have the Senjir Connoisseur. Okay, and then for the showcase card, we have Radha Coalition Warlord. So for 2 red and green, you get a 3/3 elf warrior. And with Domain, which reads, whenever Radha Coalition Warlord becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets XX until end of turn, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Okay. And we have a second mythic, right? Second straight mythic. We have Soul Kanar the Tainted, which is a legendary elemental demon, 5/5 power toughness, and 2 blue, black, red to cast. So it reads, at the beginning of your end step, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Draw a card. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Soul Kanar the Tainted deals 3 damage to up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker. Exile Soul Kanar and then return to the battlefield under an opponent's control. Okay, interesting. So this is our second mythic. And let's put that right there. And we have a foil Tolarian Gazer. Okay, and then we do get a list card. Joraga Tree Speaker for 1 green. And yeah, so this is the card with level up. And what? Pretty good mana draw. Okay, so let's put that over here for the list. So far, we've started to pick up some good cards here. We have Liliana and then we have Soul Kanar. And then we even got a list card. Okay, let's put that over there. Things around. Okay, here we go. So Forest, Talos Lookout, another Ergibian Phalanx, Llanowar Stalker. We have the Splatter Goblin, so it's 1 in black. When it dies, target creature opponent controls gets -1/1 until end of turn. Okay, then for the uncommons, Territorial Marrow. Choking Miasma, Tori Devenant Fury Rider. Right, so this is a 1 red red white legendary human knight, power toughness 3/3. So it has vigilance and trample, and when Tori attacks, all other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Other red attacking creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Untap each other white attacking creature you control. Wow, so this is actually pretty good card. I do have a deck with Jirina Kudro as the commander, and this would actually slot well with a 99. Or it can be a secondary commander, given that it's human tribal already. So it's pretty good. I like this card. Okay, and then we have a second legendary creature. This time it's Nael Avizoa Aeronaut. So she is a 2/4 legendary creature, Elf Scout, and 2 in green and blue to cast. So it has flying and domain. It reads, whenever Nael Avizoa Aeronaut deals combat damage to the player, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Put up to one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom in a random order. And if there are 5 basic land types among lands you control, draw a card. So this is, I guess, one of the themes of this particular set, I think, is to get all colors, right? And it's sort of helping you get there and reward you with card draw once you have all 5 basic land types. So this is pretty cool too. Okay, so we have a second showcase art card, and this time it's Rulik Mons, the Warren Chief. So it's 1 red green to cast, and it's a legendary creature goblin. So it has Minache, and whenever Rulik Mons attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it to the battlefield tapped. If you didn't put a card in the battlefield this way, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty good card. Gives you some card advantage, allows you to ramp, and even gives you tokens, right? Pretty good. And for our rare, we have Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief for a Simic, green and blue. So it's a 2/1 fairy rogue with flying, and whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. So a copy of an aura spell becomes a token. Oh, interesting. That's a pretty interesting mechanic there. So just fix that. Okay, and we get a foil showcase art card called Najal the Stormrunner. So for this particular pack, we got 5 legendary creatures in this particular pack, which is, I think, pretty cool. So what does Najal the Stormrunner do? So it's 2 blue red, 5/4 Efreet Wizard. You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, and whenever Najal the Stormrunner attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So yeah, this is pretty good for a spell slinger type of deck. I do also have another deck with Calamax, which is one of those precons from, I believe it was Ikoria. And yeah, it was pretty tuned deck for copying. And yeah, this would slot just right in, as another sort of redundancy for the copy spell effect. So yeah, this is a pretty good card. And we're getting a list card, a rare list card, to end this particular pack. Wow, this is a very strong pack. So we have Sanguine Sacrament for X and 2 white. You gain twice X life. Put Sanguine Sacrament on the bottom of its owner's library. Yeah, so this is a pretty good card that comes from Ixalan. So put that over there. That was an extremely interesting pack. You have 5 basic commander creatures. 2 of them are rare. Sorry, one with 1 rare and a list card of rare value. Okay, so here we go for the art card. Okay, we have a signed foil Karn art over there. foil island. Okay, so we have Thrill of Possibility, Aggressive Sabotage, Hammer Hand, which is an aura, Knight of Dawn's Light to start the uncommons. So it's 1 and white, human knight, 2/2 for strike. If you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead, and then you pay 1 and white. Knight of Dawn's Light gets plus 1 plus 1 until end of turn. So pump that guy. Oh, and then you have a second knight here. This time it's Knight of Dusk's Shadow. So it's a human knight with Minache 2/2 for 1 and black. And you can, your opponents can't gain life. And you can pump it up with 1 and black. Knight of Dusk Shadow gets plus 1 until end of turn. Okay, so we have a night cycle going on here. Then we have Love Song of Night and Day. So for the first chapter, you and target opponent each draw 2 cards. Second chapter, create a 1/1 bird creature token with flying. And then for the third chapter, put a 1/1 counter each of up to 2 target creatures. Alright. And then for our legendary creature, we have Queen Alenal of Ruadak for green, white, white. So it's a star F noble, and the queen's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. So if 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a 1/1 white soldier creature token are created instead. So this is good for those sort of token matters builds, right? Okay, and then we have Najal regular showcase art this time. Okay, and we get a third mythic for the box, and it's quite interesting. We're just in the first 7 packs of the deck, and we have 3 mythics already. So I hope we continue on with that. So here you go. We have Jared Carthalion, all colors, and it's a legendary planeswalker. So if you +1 him, create a 3/3 Kavu feature token with trample that's all colors. -3, choose up to 2 creatures. For each of them, put a 1/1 counter on it equal to the number of colors it is. And then -6, return target multicolored card from your graveyard to your hand. If that creature was all colors, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. And Jared can be your commander. So very interesting that you get this card, and it's a planeswalker that you get. It's pretty cool. And we have a rare Vodalian Hex picture. And we're ending it with a foil Banelish Faithbonder. And treasure token. Okay, so we've gotten some good pickups so far, and we're in our 9th pack. Let's see if we can get the good tidings going. So we have nice art card here. Okay, we have Impulse, D2 Amplifier, Wooded Ridgeline, land, take up the shield. Now for the uncommons, we have Bortuk Bone Rattle. So 4 black-green Troll Shaman, 4/4. So it enters the battlefield. If you cast it, choose target creature in your graveyard. Return that card to the battlefield if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. Otherwise, put it to your hand. Okay, we have Balmor Battle Mage Captain. So it's a bird wizard for blue and red. And when you cast an instant or sorcery, creatures you control get +1/+0 and trample until end of turn. Okay, and then we have another bird wizard, Battle with Mystic, and a Coalition Sky Knight. Okay, so we have all those flying guys. And we have Garna, Bloodfist of Keld, for the showcase art card. And so it reads, whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, Garna, Bloodfist of Keld deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay. So for our rare, we have Defiler of Flesh. So this is a 2 black Correction Horror with 4/4 power toughness with Minache. As an additional cost to cast black permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost black less to cast if you pay life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of black mana you can pay. And then whenever you cast a black permanent spell, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains Minache until the end of turn. So this is actually a pretty interesting card, only 4 to cast, and you have the ability to pay life to do away with the black mana to spend. So this is pretty good card. Oh, and we have a foil showcase rare of Rival's the Claw. So it's a Viashino Warlock 3/3 with Minache and costs 1 black and red to cast. So you can tap it to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon creature spells. Now once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. Whenever you cast a dragon creature spell from a graveyard, it gains when this creature dies, exile it. So this is really good for those who are looking to set up dragon themed decks. Yeah, and I think, I actually do have several dragons. I've not put any of them in any of my decks, so I think this might be a good commander to maybe explore and try to set up an interesting dragon deck. Right? And we have a list card, Cult of the Waxing Moon, 4 in green, Human Shaman, 5/4. Whenever a permanent you control transforms into a non-human creature, you can then put a wolf creature token onto the battlefield. Nice. Okay, so we're getting a lot of pretty good cards and good value from this set so far, and we're only on the 10th pack, so this is pretty cool. We're really moving along here. So we have a nice full art swamp and that stained glass sort of treatment. Okay, Death Bloom Gardener, Eerie Soul Tender, Samite Herbalist, and Radiant Grove. Okay, and then for the uncommons, we have the Hurler Cyclops, okay, Sprouting Goblin, and then we have Rulik Mons, which we got already earlier. We have a second legendary creature, Tura Kenarud, Sky Knight. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Okay, and then we have for our full art, Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart. So for white and blue, it's a 1/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. If you do, draw a card. And then you can pay 3 white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and vigilance until end of turn. Okay, and then we get a rare land, Plaza of Heroes. So you can tap it for colorless. Then you can also tap it for a mana of any color to cast legendary spells. You can tap it to add any color, add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control, and pay 3 and tap it, exile the card, target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Wow, this is a nice land, very flexible, works well with Commander, and definitely I think this would be a good staple, especially for those decks that run a lot of legendary spells and creatures. So let's put that over there. And we have a foil Molten Monstrosity. Right, so we are now in the third of this particular set, so maybe we can speed this along. Okay, and we'll head straight to the good stuff. So we have Fires of Victory here, Phoenix Chick, that's pretty funny looking art there. We have Nishoba Brawler, Protect the Negotiators. Then we have Tori Devanut, we've seen already, and we have a rare Archangel of Wrath, 2 white with ticker black or red. So this is a 3/4 angel with flying and lifelink. So it enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, it deals 2 damage to any target. Now when it enters the battlefield and if it was kicked twice, it can deal 2 damage to another target. Okay, so very interesting. And we have a foil Jodas Codex. Alright. Bird token. Okay, so let's continue on and let's see if we can get some more good stuff here. We have a nice art card over there. Okay, a foil swamp in the sort of showcase art treatment. Oops. Let's put those commons over here. Okay, we have Zorojanen, Twinferno. Right, you can choose one. Cast when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, copy that, and then or you can give someone double strike. Good card. Erloon Battle Hymn, Bortuk Bone Rattle, and we have Rona Shieldred's Faithful. And we have for the rare Maria Scholar of Antiquity. So tap untap non-token artifact control, you can add green. Tap 2 untap non-token artifacts control. Exile top card of the library, you may play it this turn. Okay, and foil Coalition Skynet. Saproling token. Nothing spicy there, but let's keep going. We're coming up to the middle of this box, and so far we have 3 mythics. One of them is Liliana. Okay, look at this art card. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. So moving along, we have Najal, the Storm Runner. Electrostatic Infantry. Slimefoot's Survey. Bear, the Argivian Recruiter. Another legendary creature. Okay, we have Ella's Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. So it's a for white-black, you get a Phyrexian Core Cleric with power toughness 2/2 with Death Touch. Now, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So this is good for those aristocrat decks, life gain decks. For the rare, we have the Tyrion Beast Caller, so 1 in green. It's a 2/2 Dryad Warrior. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Tyrion Beast Caller. And when it dies, distribute the counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on Tyrion Beast Caller. Alright. Okay, and then Magnigoth Sentry foil, and a Stang Twin token. So we've not gotten this card yet, but let's see if we get this Stang Twin. Yeah, so far I'm liking the design of these cards. They seem to be they will work well with Commander, which is the format that I'm playing. Yeah, so I'm enjoying. I'm going to enjoy upgrading my decks with some of these cards. Okay, Urborg Repossession, tribute to Urborg. Okay, I think Urborg might be the theme here. Furious Bellow. Okay, and then we have Nayel. Dragonwhelp, classic card. Nice to see it back. Balduvian Berserker. And we have Balmor Battle Mage Captain. And Rulik Mons for the two showcase art legendary creatures. And we have a mythic. It's a Planeswalker, and it will be Jaya, Fiery Negotiator. So Jaya is 2 colorless red. If you +1 her, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. -1, exile top 2 cards of your library. You may choose one of them and play that card this turn. -2, choose target creature and opponent controls. Whenever you attack this turn, Jaya Fiery Negotiator deals damage equal to the number of attacking creatures to that creature. And -8, you get an emblem when you cast a red or sorcery spell. Copy it twice. You may choose new targets for the copy. So this is pretty good for those burn decks. A very nice pickup there. And we have a mythic showcase foil card. Okay, so this is Soul of Windrace. And what does it do? So for 1 black, red, and green, you have a 5/4 cat avatar called Soul of Windrace. Whenever Windrace enters the battlefield or attacks, may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. So you can discard a land card and pay green, you gain 3 life. You can pay 1 and red and discard a land card to draw a card. And then you can pay 2 and black, discard a land card. Soul of Base gains indestructible until end of turn, tap it. So this is actually pretty cool. It gives you the ability to get some value by discarding land cards, but his effect is that you can actually play the land cards from your graveyard, right? So you can recur them back. So this is actually a pretty good card. Knight would probably be pretty interesting to set up as a commander. But wow, this is a nice looking pickup, where it's a foil showcase mythic, right, in this stained glass sort of card treatment. Okay, so wow, we have a double mythic pack right there. Quite lucky with this particular box. I think if we just stop here alone, I think I would say that I'm pretty happy with this already. But we're just about halfway onto this particular deck. So this video is getting rather long, so let me speed this up and cut through the chaff and get to the good stuff. So we have Queen Alanal, Aeron, Benali's Ruin. We got one of the art cards there earlier. And then we have Tura Kenerut. And we have Ratad, how do you say this? Ratad Rabbit of Urborg for the rare. So it's a legendary zombie wizard with vigilance and ward 2. Other zombies you control have vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's non-legendary. It's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Wow, so okay, so I think this is one of the new commanders that my friend Chum Q, check out his channel, mentioned to me about. He played against this particular deck and turn 4 killed everyone. So this is actually a good pickup and what would be quite interesting to set up as a commander. So yeah, pretty good card right there. And we have a foil Queen Alanal in the sort of stained glass looking art. And we have a list card, a rare list card, Confront the Past. So for X and green, you can choose one. Return target Planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or you can remove twice X loyalty counters from a target Planeswalker and opponent controls. Okay, pretty good. So we've gotten 2 rare list cards so far. Alright, moving along. Okay, so we have a nice serpent there for the art card. Okay, just cutting through the chaff. We have Elas, Yavim Maya Icon Clast, Linebreaker Baylock, Tailed Swipe, so it's all green, and we have Baird for the showcase. And we have another mythic. We have Timeless Lotus. So it's 5 to cast and then enters the battlefield tapped, but you can tap it for all 5 colors. Okay, so we have 6 mythics so far, and a foil Urborg Repossession. And another list card, we have Silumgar Sorcerer. Okay, let's keep going here. I better speed this up. We're going to be ending up with an hour for this particular unboxing. Alright. So, Rona's Vortex, Rona Shieldred's Faithful, Shieldred's Restoration. So, I think we know what the theme is here. Okay, we have Radha, Coalition, Warlord, and Airtie Resurrected for the rare. Okay. Then the Automatic Librarian for the 4th. Alright, here we go. Moving on to the next pack. Okay, art would be, what is this? Electrostatic Infantry. Swamp. We have the Tolarian Terror. Okay. Automatic Librarian. Timing Interference, and Hexbane Tortoise. For the commons, even Skyrider, Prayer of Binding, Shalai's Acolyte, and Bohar for the showcase card. Then we have Historian's Boon for the rare. So it's an enchantment with 3 and white to cast. Whenever Historian's Boon or another non-token enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Whenever the final chapter ability of a Saga control triggers, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with Flying and Vigilance. So this is a Saga Matters sort of card. And we have another rare, which is Radha's Firebrand, which is a 3/1 human warrior. Whenever it attacks, target creature defending player controls with power less than Radha Firebrand's power can't block this turn. Then with Domain, you pay 5 in red. Radha Firebrand gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands controlled. Activate only once each turn. Nice, okay. Talus Lookout for a foil. And a Johnny token. Okay, so moving on. Oh, look at that. Pretty nice Minotaur sort of green card, and it's a gold stamped thing as well. Okay, Meteorite, Tide Pool, Turtle, Sunbathing, Rootwalla, and we have a Crystal Grotto. Okay. So we have Radha for the uncommon, Strength of the Coalition, Wing Mantle Chaplain, and Blightpile for the uncommon, and we have Bizarro Janin again for the art card. Oh, and we have the Yavimaya Toast for the land. Okay, nice to see a reprint. And we have a Tangled Islet, foil right behind it. Alright, so this is the last pack of the second third for this particular box. So far we've done pretty well with Liliana and a couple of Mythics. Well, check that out. So let's see if we can keep the good times rolling. Okay. War Host's Frenzy. We have Garna again. Joined Forces. Walking Bulwark. And Urd, Spawn of Turd. Okay, and we get a Mythic Soul of Windgrace, this time in the normal treatment. Okay, so Mythic number 7 over there, and then a foil Joint Exploration. Nice, so we're getting some good value from this particular set, and I think the design of the other cards are actually also quite good. I will definitely be slotting in a lot of these guys into my current decks, and with the number of commanders or legendary creatures that have been printed in this set, I think there's going to be a whole host of interesting new mechanics and builds for these commanders. And yeah, I will be pouring through all of this to see, maybe some nice decks that I can put together and enjoy this particular set. So for the rare, we have Anointed Peacekeeper. So it's a 3/3 human cleric with 2 and white to cast with Vigilance. So when it enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand and choose any card name. Spells your opponent's cast with that chosen name cost 2 more to cast. Activate abilities of sources with a chosen name cost 2 more to activate. That's their mana abilities. Okay, and we have a foil, Love Song of Night and Day. And for our list card, we have Teferi's Veil. Okay, interesting. Right, so now moving on to the start of the last third of this box. Again, we've really hit a lot of good cards early on in both thirds, and let's see if we can get some more good stuff, right? Okay, commons here. Tear Asunder, Healing Rider, Prayer of Binding, Rulik, the Warren Chief, Lagomos, okay, and the showcase art. And for our rare, we have the Aether Channeler. So this is actually pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, if you have flicker effects, you can do you can get a bird token. You can return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, or you can draw a card. So it's like Man of War, but you have two other effects, which allows you to draw a card or make a chump blocker. So this is actually a really good card. Probably a good staple for those flicker sort of theme decks. Okay, and we have a nice foil stained glass sort of treatment art for Urg, Spawn of Turg. Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm liking that. Okay, and then you have another Stang Twin for the token. Alright. So nice pickup with Aether Channeler. I'm sure that's a sleeper and will probably go up in value, given that it could potentially be a staple for the format. Okay, we have Intro to the Pit, Bone Sprinters, Shadow Prophecy, X-Bane Tortoise for the commons. We have Slimefoot Survey, Nael, again Dragon Whelp, Shalai's Acolyte, and another Nael. Okay, and we have a Shadow Rite Priest for the rare, so it's 1 and black human cleric. Other clerics you control get 1/1, and you can pay 3 black and tap, sacrifice another cleric, search your library for a black card, put it in the battlefield and shuffle. Nice. Okay. So this would actually do well in my Burakos deck. Okay, and then we have a foil Barkleaf Crusher. Oh boy. And we get for the list card, a Mythic Shieldred Whispering one. So for 5 black, Swamp Walk 6/6, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature. What a lucky pickup. You get Shieldred. Okay, so we have so far 8 Mythics. We're doing pretty well. But I would love to get though the other Shieldred card, the new one for this deck. I think it is what is the name? Shieldred Apocalypse. I think that would be a pretty good commander to do. Okay, so moving on to the next Mountain Giants Firenado. That's cool sounding name. We have a Crystal Grotto over here. Now for the uncommons, Balduvian Berserker, Elas, Ronus Vortex, Garna again, Queen Alinal. Okay, and we get the Sulphurous Springs. Nice. Oh, and we get another Mythic, and again, it's in the showcase sort of stained glass treatment in foil. So we have Solkanar the Tainted. Didn't we get Solkanar already? Yeah. So we already have a Solkanar, and we get a 10th Mythic. Pretty cool. So a lot of value in this deck, although we're getting several duplicates, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, we have a nice art card over there. Island, Volsha, Tolarian Gazer, Stall for Time for the commons, Strength of the Coalition, Winged Mantle Chaplain, Blight Pile. Okay, we have Raph, the Weatherlight Stalwart, and Radha in the showcase art. And then we have Roberan Mercenaries for the rare, which is 3 and white. Is it just me, or is this symbol referring to the maybe the commander cards? Yeah, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that you can get some of the commander cards in these sets, so I like that. So it's a human mercenary with 3/4 power and toughness with vigilance. Roberan Mercenaries has all activated abilities of all legendary creatures you control. Wow! So this is pretty cool. Definitely, this is something I would use, as a sort of way to double the abilities of, your commander cards and your legendary cards in play. Okay, so we get a second rare for this pack. Urza Assembles the Titans. So for the first chapter, Scry 4, then you may reveal the top card of your library. If a Planeswalker card is revealed this way, put it to your hand. You may, for the second chapter, you may put a Planeswalker card with mana value 6 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. And then third would be you may activate loyalty abilities of Planeswalkers you control twice this turn, rather than only once. Right? And if you have the ability to copy that, then you can activate 4 times. So that'll be interesting. Okay, and then we have a foil showcase Aeron Benalius Ruin to end that pack. Okay, so double rare pack with a nice saga. Okay, moving on. Now, will we get another mythic before we end? So we're down to our last 5 packs here. So let's go. Okay, Titanium Aquafire, Molten Tributary. Okay, we have Ron's Shielded's Faithful, Shielded's Restoration, a Walking Bulwark, Najal, and Tatyova, Steward of Tides. And for the and we get a mythic, Karn the Planeswalker himself. So Karn Living Legacy for 4 colorless, and he comes in with 4 loyalty counters. So +1, create a tap Power Stone token. So it's an artifact that you can tap for mana. -1, pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library. Then put one of those cards onto your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. And then -7, you get an emblem with tap and untap artifact control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. Nice. So we get a 11th mythic, just as I was saying that. And we get a rare as well. Danitha, Benalia's Hope. So it's for 4 and 1 white, you get a 4/4 Human Knight with first strike, vigilance, lifelink. When Danitha enters the battlefield, you may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard into the battlefield attached to Danitha. Pretty good card. So this goes well with my Galea deck. And we have a foil Djinn of the Fountain. Oh wow, so pretty good pickup there. We get a 11th mythic. I think this is the most number of mythics that I've opened in one particular box. So I'm quite happy about that. And let's see if we can add more to that. So we have another art card here. Forest, Lightning Strike, Benalish Faith Bonder, Impede Momentum, and an Academy Wall. Okay, for the uncommons, we have Radha, War Host's Frenzy, Garna, Bloodfist of Keld, another Rona, and Bortuk Bone Rattle. And oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. We have another mythic, and it's Karn again. This time in the regular treatment and not the borderless, which we got. And we get a borderless foil Yavimaya Coast. Wow, that is a nice 2 packs there. We get 2 Karns of different treatments, and we get a nice foil Yavimaya Coast as well. Wow, so we have officially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mythics. So will we get 12? Let's see if we can pick up a 12th mythic here. We're ending this particular box strong, and let's see where we are, right? So Mountain, Tattered Apparition, Destroy Evil, Haunting Figment, and then we have Joint Forces for the uncommon, Joint Exploration, Heroes Heirloom, right? Tori Devenant, Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. On the third legendary creature in the showcase art, Tura Kenurud, and we have a rare Carplusan Forest, okay, and a foil Twinferno, and that, okay. So nothing there. Now let's open this particular pack. So we're down to our last 2, and hopefully we can get one more good thing. Come on, just give me one more good thing here. We have 11 mythics so far. Let's see if we can get a 12th. Alright, so we have Citizens for Rest, Negate, Venomous Sleeper, Clockwork Drawbridge, Monstrous Warleech, Braid's Frightful Return. Okay, look at that art. pretty good. Again, it evokes that Nightmare Before Christmas Tim Burton movie. Raph, Urg, Spawn of Urg, and Ella's Ilkor. And we have a rare Joyra, Ageless Innovator. So for blue and red, you get a Human Artificer 2/3 and tap. Put 2 Ingenuity counters on Joyla, Aegis Innovator. Then you may put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of Ingenuity counters on Joyra. Wow, this is actually pretty good. You can abuse this to play free artifacts, right? Wow. So yeah, I would love to make a deck around Joyra and see how that works. And we have Viashino Branch Rider. Okay, we're down to our last pack, and after this, we still have a box topper to go. We've already hit about an hour on this video, but it's been an exciting ride so far, so I hope you guys are enjoying opening this particular set booster. We've got some pretty good pickups already, right? And hopefully you can get more. And for the bonus round on the box topper, you can get something good. So we have Relic of Legends, Walking Bulwark, Coral Colony, Tatyova, and Aaron Benalia's Ruin. And we're ending with a rare Keldon Flame Sage. So this is a Human Shaman 2/3 power toughness and 2 in red to cast. So it has Enlist. Whenever Keldon Flame Sage attacks, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is Keldon Flame Sage's power. You may exile instant or sorcery card with mana value X or less among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Ow! So you can easily abuse this, right? And be able to cast free spells, free instants or sorceries. Pretty good. And we have a foil Molten Tributary to end. So we end on a mana and a muck for the token. Now let's go to the box topper. So let me get this box topper out. Nice looking art card here. We have Jaya and I think another Planeswalker plus a Basking Root Wala. Okay, so I think this is just one card. Let's see what we get from this box topper. Let me try to open this first. Yeah, so this is the problem, right, with these box toppers. They're hard to open. Okay, so let me do this real quick. I'll just get myself a pair of scissors and open this dude. Okay, here we go. So for the box topper, what do we get? Oh. Here we go. Let's flip it and flip it good. We have Ramses, Assassin Lord. So for 2 blue and black, you get a 4/4 human assassin with Death Touch. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. Okay. Alright, so I guess that's a win con right there. That's pretty cool. All you need to do is attack with an assassin and you kill a player for that particular turn, and you win the game. That's it. Okay, just like that, we've come to the end of this particular box, and it was an interesting box. Just to go through it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mythics, and we had a couple of good rares, and not to mention that we also got several list cards as well, and some good lands from the land cycle. So I think overall this is a very, very strong box. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll see you guys there. Bye bye.